Welcome to Coach Dave Grigsby's show. I'm Chris Wells, Sports Information Director here at Lindsey College, joined by LWC cycling coach Dave Grigsby. And Coach, school's underway now. There's a lot of action going on all over campus. Cycling's no different. And you're already into the first of 4 seasons.
We are.
With track. Talk a little bit about your track program.
Track is kind of thrust upon us as soon as we get back to school. We barely make it back, and the first weekend back we have to go up and do a short qualifier race to make sure that some of our athletes who do not have a home track are qualified to go to the national championships if we choose them for the team. Basically show up to school, load up in the van the following Friday, and travel to Indiana to do our first track qualifier race. Our first and only conference race in the track season is this coming Friday. We will do that. We will have a week off, which we will have a mountain bike race, and then we'll have the track national championships. So it's right upon us.
There's 4 disciplines in collegiate cycling. One of the ones is track, mountain biking, cyclocross, and then road. Tell us what track is. It's not like track and field. For those who don't know about cycling, talk about what track cycling is.
Track is held on a velodrome. When people think of the Olympics and cycling, this is usually what they see. It's akin to a NASCAR track. It's 333
with
meters.
High banks.
With high banks, yes. 333 meters for the track that we're racing on. There are several races. There are pursuit races, which is a team event where there are 4 riders on the track who tries to put down the best time they can. There are points races, which is what people normally think of as a bike race, and then every 6 laps they sprint to the line to gain points, and those who get points move on to the final rounds. There are sprints where riders will qualify by doing a 200-meter sprint, and then they're categorized, and then they will match sprint. One rider will sprint against another rider. Again, several different types of races, a lot like swimming. Swimming will have several different types of races within one competition. Well, track is the same way. There are specialties for riders that have a short, explosive power, and there are races for riders who have a lot of endurance. So they kind of cover all the bases in track cycling.
In those sprints, what kind of speeds are the bikers getting up to?
From between 40 and 50 miles per hour when they hit that top speed.
Yeah, all in the little area. It's a great spectator sport, no question about it.
It really is. It really is.
Well, not only are you in track season, but soon you're going to start your mountain biking season, and the first race is right here on Lindsey Wilson's campus. It's coming up on September the 9th. And talk a little bit about the mountain biking season and what, in particular, what you do to host an event.
The first race of the year is our home cycling race. We'll have 3 events. We have the first day we have a short track, which is, again, it's a very small circuit, probably a quarter-mile circuit, and the riders will race on time. In other words, we say go, we hit the timer, and after 30 minutes we will say, okay guys, 3 laps to go. So this way we can control the time that the race takes. Also, our specialty is held that day, and that is dual slalom. Dual slalom is just like ski slalom, where you have 2 participants going down the track at the same time. First one to the bottom wins, and then they'll switch sides and do it again. Dual slalom is going to be at the national championships again this year. Again, it's an event that we have won several national championships in, so really like our chances in that. On Sunday, the 11th, we will do our cross-country event, and that's held out at Green River State Park. It's a very, very challenging course, probably the most challenging course in the conference, just because of the short, steep, abrupt climbs we have, the rugged terrain we have. And that race, a typical race out there is about 2 hours long per category. To put these races on, we have lots of volunteers. Of course, all of the teammates that are not participating, maybe they're a road specialist, they're going to come and volunteer. We've been working nonstop on the track. Our gravity team has really been doing a lot of shovel work. There's really a lot of, it's incredible. There's a lot of earth moving, and most of it has to be done by hand. So our athletes have really been out there sweating, shirts off, bandanas around the head, shoveling. But that's kind of the nature of the sport. There's a lot of work goes into setting up these courses.
And tell the people who are watching where the first day events will take place.
First day events is going to be Saturday the 10th, I believe, Saturday, September 10th. And those are going to be at the Beaumar Heights property here in Columbia. It's about a mile from campus. Sunday is at Green River State Park starts at the offices of the Green River State Park. Is our start and finish line.
Well, it was an exciting summer for cycling, for Lindsey Wilson Cycling. Chase Hines, a BMX world champion. Talk a little bit about Chase's accomplishment.
Yeah, we're incredibly proud of Chase. We I don't want to say we knew it, but we kind of knew. we knew he had it. We knew he had it in him. We knew he was capable of it, and he's been probably the most dominant cruiser racer in BMX all year on the national scene. And so we kind of knew that he was capable of this. He qualified to represent the United States in the BMX World Championships. They were held in Copenhagen. He goes over there, and he actually races two categories. He races in the 20-inch wheel class, and then he races in the cruiser class, which is the 24-inch wheel class. He actually crashed in his 20-inch class, and so that kind of took him out of contention for that title. But in the 24-inch class, he was completely focused. He really dominated it. The race really wasn't even that close when he got to the finals because he was so focused and so strong and trained so hard for it. He made it look easy, and all the greats do. And an interesting story, I know you know this. We had asked Chase when he went to Denmark to take that Lindsey Wilson jersey and just get some shots of him around Copenhagen in the Lindsey jersey. Here's one of our cyclists traveling internationally to race. We never dreamed what he would do. When he wins the title, he's not allowed to take personal items up onto the podium, but he hides his Lindsey Wilson jersey under his USA jersey, and as they're taking pictures, he pulls it out and shows it off. And we were really flattered and amazed that he had done that, and very proud to have our colors up there on that World Championship stage.
You mentioned 20-inch and 24-inch. For those of us who don't know what the difference, talk about is speed difference. Tell us a little bit about the difference.
Really, the only difference is the way the bike handles. The speed is there equally, really. A 20-inch wheel just a little smaller, just a little bit easier to get going initially. The 24-inch wheel bikes a little bit slower to get started, but maybe a little better on the top end speed. And initially it started, years and years and years ago, it started because 20-inch wheels were considered, for smaller people. 24-inch wheels were kind of invented so that, taller people could race BMX equally. But, everybody adopted it, and decades ago it became just two different classes. So it's all the same participants participate in the 20 and the 24 now. There's almost no difference. But yeah, that's why we have the two different wheel sizes.
Chase obviously had a great summer back on campus and looking forward to a terrific season 4 cycling. Chase isn't the only quality rider in the Lindsey Wilson staple of riders. Tell us a few names that we need to be on the lookout for this year.
Well, especially in the season that's upon us, which is track. We've got a young lady from Colombia, South America. Her name is Jessica Mendoza. She is really on fire. She's an extremely powerful track rider, has an amazing sprint. Probably very few riders in the country can keep up with her when she gets that gear wound up and charges for the line. We also, on the men's side, we have a rider from the Hincapie development team. His name's Justin Lowe. He's from South Carolina, and he's a transfer student. He's 22 years old, very dedicated cyclist, extremely powerful. We expect him to do great things, not only in track. This is his first season of track, but also later on in road. Another new rider, David Novak, is here, and David again has only just a handful of track races experience, but he's come in and raced very aggressively. We really expect him in the points this year as well. On the mountain bike side, we're bringing back our top finisher from last year's mountain bike endurance races, which was Taylor Ladd. Of course, Taylor's back for his senior year, and he's strong. And we just have a really, really strong. I don't want to leave anybody out. We have a really strong list of A riders this year, and it's probably going to be one of our best years ever.
Now, we talked about the 4 disciplines in cycling. Coach, how many student athletes, or is it common to have someone, I guess, go across the board and ride in 2, 3, or even all 4 disciplines?
Well, it's common for them to take on other disciplines. I tell recruits that when we recruit someone, we look for someone who is really gifted in one discipline, and then we offer the other disciplines for them to try. If they like it, if they're passionate about it, then we want to continue to help develop them in those disciplines. We find that we get really quality work out of riders who really want to ride a certain discipline, and we find that if we try to push that on them, which we don't do that, you're just not going to get the kind of passion that we're looking for, which that passion leads to the hard work that it takes to go to the next level. But yeah, we have several riders, probably most riders on the team, do more than one discipline. We have a handful of riders who do all the disciplines. Danny Callawag came here as a top A pro BMXer. He immediately became one of the top gravity riders we had, because that's a perfect transition. But in order to kind of build his ability on the track, which he's also kind of adopted, he wants to do well on the track, he's had to get in a lot more endurance rides. Well, that alone has kind of pushed him toward a little bit of road racing and even mountain bike racing, which is something that we really never even thought of Danny for before he got here. But that was kind of the transition, and now it's not uncommon to see Danny jumping into a race in every single discipline we have, and that's one example of what a lot of our riders do.
One of the things that I've noticed throughout your entire program is your cyclists are not afraid to try anything. It's kind of in their DNA to say, yeah, I'll jump on that bike and try that discipline. It's just an amazing thing to see.
It's true. It's true. We have just about every rider on our program is just really gung-ho and excited to spend time with their other teammates in the other disciplines, because they see maybe their roommate or somebody they're close with on the team, they see them enjoying that other bike and that other training, and they're like, okay, yeah, I'll come out with you on Saturday and we'll try that out. And that's kind of how it works.
That's Coach Dave Grigsby here on the Coach Dave Grigsby Show. Remember, Lindsey Wilson back in action on mountain biking for the first time this season on September 10th and 11th, right here in Columbia. You can see out at the Beaumar Heights area for the first day of action on September 10th, and then out at Green River on September 11th. Log on to lindsayathletics.com following both days, and we'll have a recap of everything that's going on with Lindsey Wilson cycling. Also, tell everybody about your Twitter, Facebook, where they can log on and find Coach Dave Grigsby and Lindsey Wilson cycling.
Yeah, on Twitter we're at BikeCoachDave. Again, we try to put up the race results in real time, or as best we can, while we're not cheering for our kids. Also, Dave Grigsby on Facebook. And we're easy to find.
That's Coach Dave Grigsby. I'm Chris Wells. This has been the Coach Dave Grigsby Show on the Lindsey Wilson Sports Network.